With peace negotiations soon to get underway between the U.S. and the Afghan Taliban, the militant group says it's now prepared to hand over a captive American soldier in exchange for the release of Taliban militants held at Guantanamo Bay prison. The talks follow several failed attempts at peace negotiations since the Afghan War began in 2001. But earlier this week, the Taliban opened an official overseas office in Doha, signaling it was ready to re-engage. Pushing the Taliban to meet with the U.S., according to an analyst who spoke with Time, could be its lack of popularity at home, with the majority of Afghans opposed to the group's influence. And CNN reporter Nick Robertson speculates, quote, they may get a better deal at the table than on the battlefield. Atop its agenda will be a prisoner exchange, and the man whose fate depends on it is Army Sergeant Bo Bergdahl, who disappeared from his base in 2009. He's the only known U.S. soldier held captive by militants in Afghanistan, thought to be somewhere in Pakistan. In return, the Taliban is demanding 5 of its senior operatives be freed from Guantanamo Bay, along with the withdrawal of all foreign troops from Afghanistan. And that's only the beginning. As peace talks between the two sides near, they've been met with confusion and demands from all sides. Afghan President Hamid Karzai abruptly suspended future negotiations with the U.S. after feeling excluded over the U.S. meeting with the Taliban before his own government, only to announce barely 24 hours later he would re-engage, provided the Taliban flags be removed from the group's new office in Doha. That's brought mixed messages from the State Department, which has sought to downplay any possible tensions with the Afghan leader. And complicating efforts are the recent attacks from the Taliban that killed 4 U.S. soldiers, right after the group pledged to end its violence on the ground as part of preconditions for the talks. While analysts caution against expecting some sort of grand bargain to come of the negotiations, we could see a more legitimized Taliban representation post-2014, with elections in Afghanistan set for April.
The hopes are that you get some moderation of the Taliban, that perhaps you do get a split amongst the Taliban, a group that actually does want to moderate, that does want to be part of a post-2014 Afghanistan.
Despite claims from the Taliban it's serious about negotiating peace, some still have their doubts. Though, as a writer for the Christian Science Monitor explains, it could be a step in the right direction. Even if they fail, they may have the effect of weakening the morale of lower-level Taliban fighters, further splintering the militants. A militant group that is stuck in the past and unaware of what brings peace can't last for long. Taliban representatives are expected to meet with U.S. officials in Doha in the coming days. For Newsy, I'm Elizabeth Hagedorn.